first up we had this Giussani Italian guitar that we both tried. And Ian, why did you play the music that you chose to play on this guitar?
I played Sueño en la Floresta by Barrios on this guitar because that particular piece, due to its open tuning, gives the guitar quite a lot of opportunities to, I suppose, show off its sustaining qualities. When you play a note, it seems to never end, and the wonderful thing about the sustaining qualities on this guitar is that each note has that quality. There are no immediate dead notes.
Yeah, I agree with the sustaining quality, but when I first started playing the guitar, I thought it was very quick, and what I mean by that is it spoke very fast. So when I sort of played anything, it was very quick to sort of happen. So I chose the registro from the Lauro suite. Again, sort of South American, well, Venezuelan music, a bit like the Barrios from Paraguay, but it's funny that we both sort of chose pieces from the same sort of idiom, but I chose maybe a sort of more flowing, rhapsodic sort of piece because I thought the guitar got the notes out very, very fast. So it was really, really easy. In fact, it's a very easy guitar to play.
Yes, it is. And I would agree that it is a very responsive instrument, and in all registers you really feel like the guitar is supporting what you do.
Yeah.
You don't have to work against it. It just seems to do what's asked of it. A very rare quality in a guitar, but this guitar certainly has it.
So another thing I thought was quite amazing about the guitar was it's obviously got a very fine varnish on it, but it doesn't look like French polish, so it's really beautifully finished, but doesn't quite feel like French polish, more like a violin varnish or something like that. But the guitar is spectacular looking, you know, in terms of the wood. So this is obviously Brazilian rosewood on the back and on the sides, which looks gorgeous, really, really, really incredible. And the workmanship across the guitar is really excellent, I think.
Yes, and another interesting fact about this guitar is that this very fine rosewood that you see, the sides are actually double sides, a technique explored quite thoroughly by Daniel Friedrich, the great French maker. And I think in terms of how this affects the sound, it might explain, or at least go some way to explaining the responsiveness of this instrument. The sound is focused to the top, to the table, and you can really feel when you play the guitar that the table's working and the harmonics are ringing. It just makes it an immediately enjoyable instrument to play.
An interesting rosette. I like these styles of rosettes which are more like larger shapes, blocks like this. I mean, obviously the traditional rosette with a lot of inlay and a lot of very small pieces, mosaic pieces, it's really popular, but this I think you see further out into a concert hall, which is really quite effective.
Yes.
You know.
And it adds a touch of modernity to a guitar, which is actually has quite a traditional look to it. It strikes an aesthetic balance between the kind of more, I suppose, experimental instruments that are being built, experimental designs, and the more classic Spanish look.
One thing that I really like about this one, in the trebles, I think a lot of guitars suffer sometimes if a maker wants to get a lot of sound in the trebles and quite a lot of projection, is they get so bright in the trebles that you lose the ability to make a really truly warm sound when you're carrying a melody. But what he's managed to do, Giussani, is he's got that brightness and that vitality, but you do get a very quick response when you want to use a real tasto sort of sound. So I was quite impressed with that, because I have played a lot of kind of guitars lately that have this big, powerful treble, but it's not got a quality of sound that I really like, so much.
I think that ties in with the fact that this guitar would be very suitable for all repertoire. I can't really think of any music that wouldn't work on it. And I think the fact that there's a treble that is responsive to a lot of ranges of colour and dynamic, it never distorts. It handles it, and means that it could work just as well for. I mean, it's beautiful, responsive sustain, and would work very well for some contrapuntal music, some Baroque music. It would work very well for some modern music, and it has all the warmth required for Spanish or South American romantic music.
Yep.